Hey, what's going on YouTube? Son of Sanguinius here, and today we're going to be continuing our Angel's Blade review with a look at what is considered to be the third great formation in Angel's Blade. So without further ado, let's just dive right into it with the Golden Host here. So the formation consists of either the Sanguinor or Commander Dante, and 2 to 5 units of Sanguinary Guard, and there are no restrictions. For special rules, we have Airborne Assault. From your second turn, you can choose the turn in which the units from this formation arrive from reserves. There is no need to roll the dice. All units in the formation must arrive on the same turn, and all must deep strike onto the battlefield. You can re-roll the scatter dice when units from this formation arrive from deep strike reserve. And the other one is Glory of Sanguinius. Units in this formation can charge on the turn they arrive from deep strike, but always count as making a disorder charge when they do so. So, the Golden Host. It can be kind of played with two different ways here. It can be played as sort of an excellent, well-timed reserve, seeing as how you basically get to choose the turn that it comes on, so you keep these guys in reserve, and, say, turn 3, turn 4, when, the battle gets pitched and a critical unit on your opponent's side needs to be taken out, you drop these guys in, you charge in with them, and you eliminate, perhaps, that really, beefed up elite unit that just wouldn't die, prior to the Golden Host coming on the table. Or you can sort of see them as a complement to a first turn blitz, because you can basically have these guys come on second turn, deep strike in, and assault behind your enemy's lines. Meanwhile, the rest of your army is pushing up forward with their fast transports or chump packs, what have you. And it's a really nice way just to sort of complement that sort of really fast blitz style. So, on to, kind of how you can kit these guys out. I guess the first thing to start with is, who should we pick, for the formation. So we have either the Sanguinor or Commander Dante leading these. Honestly, 95% of the time, I would probably choose Dante, simply because I think that, for one, he has better war gear, he has better special rules, he has a better warlord trait. It's really just better for not only just for the Golden Host specifically, but for your army in general. Especially if you take the Golden Host in the Angel's Blade Strike Force, Commander Dante's Descent of Angels Warlord trait will be sort of passed on not only to the units in his formation, but also the entire detachment. So that counts for jump and skimmer units. So Sanguinary. The Sanguinary Guard in this formation will definitely benefit from Commander Dante and just make it not only a reliable deep strike reserve, but also a much more accurate one as well. The only way I could see taking the Sanguinor is maybe for fluffy reasons, but aside from that, I would go with Commander Dante. And speaking about, Commander Dante, I mentioned this before, but this is a really good, fast, and accurate deep striking formation. It's kind of comparable to the Archangel's Orbital Intervention Force, and I'm sure that there will be some discussion about which one is better. On the one hand, with the Orbital Intervention Force, I feel that the Terminators will be much more durable, much more survivable, simply because they can have either a 5-up invuln save or a 3-up invuln if you take the Thunderhammer Storm Shield combination. On the flip side of the coin here, with the Golden Host, they are faster to come on the table because you can simply, say which turn you want them to come on, starting at turn 2. But they're also far more accurate as far as the deep strike is concerned. Assuming you go with Commander Dante, you're going to be scattering D6 less. And on top of that, you also have the Airborne Assault, which lets you re-roll that scatter die. So, you have a much better chance of, not only rolling less for a scatter, but also just flat out not scattering at all. The Golden Host is also faster in terms of the jump packs that the units have. So once you deep strike in, once you charge in, you can also sort of, have a little bit more movement on the table after they get that initial charge off, and assuming they win combat, they can, sort of spread out quicker and move to various parts of the table faster than regular Terminators could. So those are just some things to consider. I might actually do a video comparing these two because I feel like there is a lot of overlap as far as the uses for them goes. I would say, generally speaking, the real question would be what you plan on going up against, because you could, compare the Lightning Claw Assault Terminators to Sanguinary Guard with Glaven Carmines, and there really is, I feel, a lot of overlap there, and it can really kind of become questionable as to which one is better. I think honestly most players won't put that much thought into it. I feel like it'll more just sort of come out as to what their personal preference is or whatever, and that's perfectly fine. Honestly, as far as infantry removal, HQ removal, elite removal, I find both formations to be completely sufficient, adequate, and excellent, or excellent, I guess would be the proper pronunciation, in that particular role. And as far as kitting out the Sanguinary Guard goes, I would pretty much just leave them untouched. I briefly mentioned this in my tactics review for Sanguinary Guard. Sanguinary Guard are pretty much good right out of the box. They already have Artificer armor, jump packs, mastercrafted power weapons. There really isn't a whole lot I would really give. Perhaps the chapter banner in larger games. I mean, because frankly, large games are really the only time I'd ever bring the Golden Host anyway. But the only other thing I could possibly think is maybe like one Inferno Pistol and maybe a Power Fist if you really wanted to have some monstrous creature removal or just I guess really high strength to go up against vehicles and such. But generally speaking, I would just stick to Carmine Swords and Carmine Axes really, and just sort of keep a very focused anti-infantry build. So for the most part, I would just leave the Sanguinary Guard just untouched. And generally speaking, as far as I can see, I really see the Golden Host as a good way to take out your enemy HQ and their squad. Just because the fact that these guys can come on quick and they can come on accurately points to them again. You can either keep them back in reserve, or you can bring them down immediately, or you can basically decide on the fly as you go. And I really see the Golden Host as a great way to get that Warlord kill, to get rid of whatever Warlord trait your opponent is currently using. I think it's again just the true epitome of anything as a scalpel, as opposed to the sledgehammer that the orbital intervention force might be with Thunderhammer Storm Shoot. So I suppose that's it's a bit of contrast there. But anyway, guys, that's all I really have for this video. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say down below in the comments. Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? How does it compare to the Archangel's Orbital Intervention Force? Like I said, I might make a video comparing these two later on, because I do feel like there's definitely some overlap here. And it would be interesting just to see the different roles that these things can fill. But other than that, I would say just leave the Sanguinary Guard as is, take Dante, and focus on getting rid of your opponent's HQ and whatever squad that they might be protected by. So anyway, that's it for this video. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.